what does the IRS criminal investigation process look like? So there are two answers to this question. Number one is, what does the IRS criminal investigation process look like from the IRS side? And number two, what does it look like from the client side? So from the IRS side of things, the criminal investigation process begins with a referral. The IRS doesn't just sit in their office and pick people at random to initiate criminal investigations on. What usually happens is a referral will come into the criminal investigative unit, either through an audit or through a collections officer or through a whistleblower or through some other third-party government investigation. So CI will take that lead, they'll examine the information that's being presented in the referral, and they'll decide whether they want to devote investigative resources to looking at that case or not. If they do decide that they want to devote investigative resources, then CI invokes on a fact-finding mission. So CI cases take many years to build in a lot of cases, and so what they're doing is they're constantly looking for information. They're trying to develop a case, and the goal is when CI puts a case in the hands of a United States attorney, that U.S. attorney has every tool they need in order to secure a conviction. So CI agents take their time, they're very meticulous, they're very careful, and it's only after they take great care and caution do they let their investigation known to the public or to the subject or target of that investigation. From the client side of things, the client may or may not be aware that CI is involved. Again, if you've seen the other videos in this series, the second CI becomes involved and you're aware of it, get a criminal tax attorney involved. But from a client side of things, a CI investigation can be ongoing for a year or two or even 3 before the client's really even aware of it. So the client may become aware of it because somebody may call them and say, hey, I had this special agent show up at my house to interview me and he asked me a bunch of questions about you. Or they may get notice that CI has looked at their bank records, or some comment may have been made, or whatever. But the point is the client's experience with the process usually doesn't come until later. Once the client becomes involved in the CI process, then it's about mitigation. There's usually not a lot of contact with the special agents. It's not like they chat openly about their criminal investigations, particularly to the people that they're investigating. So there's limited information sharing. There's limited back and forth. There may be a U.S. attorney involved. There's usually one supervising the investigation, but not always. And so you want to make sure that from a client's perspective, you take a very measured approach to this. A criminal investigation, as I like to say, is a marathon and not a sprint. So the client needs to prepare himself or herself to make sure that they're doing everything along in the process to mitigate their risk appropriately. Criminal investigations are often frustrating to clients. They can take many, many months, if not years, to resolve. And there's a lot of time and effort that goes into them. But it's very, very important. I mean, when you're dealing with a criminal investigation, the stakes couldn't be any higher because a lot of times clients are looking at really significant felony charges at the end of them. So you want to make sure that you do your best, that you guide yourself through the process, that you take it step by step, and that you do everything you can to mitigate or dismiss the charges flat out.